Inniswell Ministries International presents Midweek Message. Hi, family. Well, family, we're talking about Father's Day. And we're talking about, like, how do we get through this? Like, Father's Day itself can be a trigger for some folks. And so how do we get through Father's Day without getting triggered? First of all, make a plan. If you make a plan, if Father's Day is a trigger for you and you have a plan, yeah, it makes it easier to get through the day. Now, whether or not you have a relationship with your father, there are other fathers in your life. Your husband might be a father. Your child, your son might be a father. Your brother might be a father. Like the men in your life, you might have uncles that are fathers. Like there's other men in your life that are fathers. And so show them honor. Like don't let the day go by without showing them honor, especially if they were good dads. Now, when it comes to your father, and if you don't know him, if you never met your dad, you don't even know who your dad is, if your dad abandoned you, if your dad's in your life but it's not a good situation, like whatever your situation is, and Father's Day just isn't Father's Day brings up bad feelings for you, we need to talk about the F word, and that is forgiveness. Everybody hates forgiveness for some reason, but it's pretty important to God. It's mentioned over 56 times in the Bible. Jesus told Peter, forgive like 70 times 7. Forgiveness is a gift to yourself. It releases you from the grip of resentment and bitterness. And so how do we forgive? Remember that forgiveness isn't so much about that person as it is about you releasing all of that pent up emotion and anger and frustration, letting that go. It affects you, and it affects your relationships with other people because you have this anger and bitterness inside of you. So we're going to work our way through that. And the first thing we're going to do is acknowledge our feelings. And so my parents divorced when I was 8. And so 8-year-old me felt abandoned, rejected, angry, depressed, or sad. We'll say sad. Like responsible, like I did something. Like I had a whole mix of emotions. And although I look at it now from a different angle, at 8, like that was valid. Like those feelings were valid for 8-year-old me. Now 61-year-old me, that they're no longer valid for me as an adult woman. But as a child, they were valid. And I have to, give myself some grace on that, because yes, I did feel all those things. Now, should I have? Because my Heavenly Father never left me nor forsake me. My Heavenly Father was there at all times. And so I should have never, I don't have to feel that. I don't have to feel rejected and abandoned, because I was never abandoned. I know that now. I didn't know that then. God knew me before I was even, he knew me when he was forming me in my mom's belly. So I'm not rejected. I'm chosen. He chose me. He chose to put me in my mom's belly. Like he foreknew me before he even put me there. Now, how, that's not rejection. That's love right there. So acknowledge your feelings and validate your feelings. It's okay that you felt that way, but you can't continue to feel that. Like, you have to work your way through those feelings. You can't stay stuck there. And so, you have to be able to move forward even if you never hear an apology, even if you never see any change in their behavior. So, for example, if your parent was addicted, you have to be able to move forward even if they're continuing their addiction, because that's their cross to bear. You have your own crosses to bear, and you have to keep your crosses are your healing, right? As you carry your crosses, you're going into your healing. If they choose to remain where they are, then that's on them. But you can't remain angry and bitter. That's not what you want to carry into your future. And whether they say sorry or not, that's on them. You have got to set boundaries. You cannot allow someone to abuse you physically, verbally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. You can't have that. And in order to do that, you need to set up boundaries. Things you will and won't tolerate in your presence. And stand firm on them. And remember, forgiveness doesn't have to be you calling them up every day. Forgiveness does not mean that you have to post up at the table and key with them every day. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean you ever have to speak to them again. It just means you can't carry that anger and frustration and hurt and bitterness in your heart. Focus on the future. Focus on your healing. You can't focus on what they're doing over here. They're going to do what they do. You are going to move forward in your life. And the last thing I want to say is consider therapy. Consider that like person that has no dog in the fight and is just there. They're being paid to listen to you talk. That means you can talk away and cry and laugh and however it is you're feeling. Family, forgiveness is our first step in our healing that wound. So, forgiveness. You can do it. And it's about you. It's not about them. It's about you. It's about you lifting this burden off of you. And so, yeah, you can do it. Join us again next time when In His Will Ministries International presents Midweek Message. Until then, bye.